Ferrari is changing everything. Not just communication, but also how they hire people and how they manage them. And here comes a bombshell. Ferrari will bring a lightened chassis already from Bahrain to get closer to minimum weight. Currently, the SF-26 is a few kilos over the limit, and this new chassis, together with aerodynamic updates, will change everything. But there's also a problem that's back to haunt: lift and coast in qualifying. Esteban Ocon revealed that in qualifying simulations, he had to lift off and manage energy, not push flat out. And this is exactly the management Leclerc has always hated. Meanwhile, the most important compliments arrive. Ayao Komatsu from Haas thanks Ferrari for extraordinary work on the power unit, 457 laps without engine problems. And it doesn't end there. Pressure is extremely high at Maranello. John Elkann wants to win, and if results don't arrive by April, names of possible replacements will start circulating. Stay with me because what I'm about to tell you is crucial. Ferrari stopped, looked reality in the face, and did real soul-searching. Not just with words, communication changed, the way they present themselves changed, and some internal figures changed. Today, the team appears more compact, more united, almost colder. In Barcelona, the car gave important reliability signals, and for once, the starting point is concrete. Frederic Vasseur is responsible for the 2026 project and is managing everything with a completely new approach. No proclamations, no exaltations, only work. And here comes the first important news. Ferrari will bring a lightened chassis already from the first Bahrain test. In 2026, weight is fundamental, and Ferrari wants to get as close as possible to the regulatory minimum limit. There are two different weight limits, one for qualifying and one general, with only a 2-kilo difference. This lightened chassis is the main weight saving Ferrari will achieve in the first part of the season. There will be small changes here and there, but most modifications will concern weight saving. The aerodynamic aspect and suspension mounting points will remain the same. Ferrari needs to bring the SF-26's weight much closer to the limit to shave time per lap and kilograms from the scales. Officially, Ferrari would be only a few kilos over the limit, but according to circulating information, all teams magically declare being 4 kilos over the limit. It's not necessarily true teams can declare what they want in official specifications. The truth is, weight is an aspect most teams are struggling with. Ferrari wants to lighten the chassis to then mount ballast that compensates and better manage weight balance. But it's not just about weight. Ferrari launched the SF-26 in a very basic configuration, nothing aerodynamically important. The model seen in Barcelona is probably 6 months behind the latest version already produced and ready in Maranello. Between Bahrain and Melbourne, we'll see an aerodynamic platform with a series of changes across the entire SF-26. We're talking about modifications from the car's front part, from the front wing and nose to the rear wing and everything in between. There are key elements of this car that will undergo continuous updates during the season. Front wings will be subject to many changes. It's a vital area for how airflows are designed. And then there's the wakeboard area, used to control front tire wake and aerodynamic elements formed by the front wing. These two parts will play an important role together. Everything must talk and work together to bring harmony to airflows. And during the season, we'll see different cooling levels needed depending on where we are in the world and the climate. However, there's a big variable hovering over everything: fuels. Those used so far aren't definitive, and this means one thing only: that hierarchies seen in tests could overturn. In Barcelona, Ferrari didn't use Shell's new fuels, the totally sustainable one, despite it being available. This is a detail that weighs. It means Ferrari did its studies and data analysis on other elements, and fuel will be used later. The definitive fuel Shell will provide will be fundamental, and the same goes for Mercedes with Petronas and Aston Martin with Aramco. And here returns a concept that's scary, a concept Charles Leclerc knows all too well: lift and coast. But this time, we're not just talking about the race, we're talking about qualifying on the flying lap. A moment when historically in Formula One you go flat out without compromises. The one raising the theme was Esteban Ocon, who recounted what happened in the first test with the 2026 Alpine. In Barcelona, Ocon explained that during qualifying simulations he had to lift off, manage energy, do lift and coast. Why? It's the most effective way to extract performance with these new cars. At first it's strange, Ocon says, then it becomes natural, so natural that after a while it's almost stranger not to do it. The reason is if you stay always full gas, you arrive at end of straight and must brake violently, wasting energy and destabilizing the car. Lifting slightly earlier, everything becomes more fluid and paradoxically even faster. And this is where the real problem arises. If the qualifying lap requires management, compromise, and extreme optimization, then the very essence of the show changes. Qualifying is no longer the moment of total attack, but an efficiency exercise. This is exactly the scenario that scares Ferrari most, because it's no mystery that Leclerc has always suffered this type of driving. Forced management, having to remove instead of give energy, is a nightmare that returns precisely while Ferrari is trying to build a more aggressive car. The SF-26 pleases drivers because it's very loaded on the front, gives confidence, is precise. But this problem emerges that was Ferrari's nightmare in 2025. The question is only one. Will this compromise between technical sustainability and performance really manage to keep Formula One's charm intact? Meanwhile, at Maranello, pressure is extremely high. John Elkann wants to win. Benedetto Vigna and Frederic Vasseur know they're playing for their positions. And April will be a key month. If results don't arrive, the first names of possible replacements will start circulating, and this is official. At Maranello, there hasn't been such a tense climate in years. Leclerc is no longer just a boy with pure passion. He sees others winning, feels time passing, and today puts career before romanticism. If a better alternative should present itself, for the first time, it wouldn't be unthinkable to consider it. Look, in my opinion, Ferrari is finally doing things the right way. They understood proclamations serve no purpose, that empty promises don't bring results. This year, they kept their heads down, worked in silence, and the signals are concrete. The lightened chassis is fundamental because every kilo counts, and having margin to move ballast means better car balance. Aerodynamic updates between Bahrain and Melbourne will show if Ferrari truly found the right path. And compliments from Haas aren't just words. When a customer team racks up almost 500 laps without engine problems, reliability is really there. But there's a shadow over all this. Lift and coast in qualifying. Frankly, the idea that even on flying laps, drivers must manage energy instead of pushing maximum scares me. It's against Formula One's nature, it's against what we want to see. And for Leclerc, who's always suffered this type of driving, it could be a serious problem. In conclusion, Ferrari has all ingredients to do well. Demonstrated reliability, updates arriving, engine that convinces, but they'll have to manage pressure, face the lift and coast problem, and understand if Shell fuel will be truly competitive. April will tell us a lot, but in my opinion, we can only give the real judgment at mid-season.